When he was appointed as US National Security Advisor last year, it was feared the notoriously hawkish John Bolton would drive President Donald Trump toward war. Nearly a year and a half on, and Bolton's position is vacant, with Trump blaming his mention of the Libya model for North Korea. Let's explore further. I'm Alex Jensen for Korea Now. The Libya model calls for North Korea to give up its nuclear weapons program before receiving concessions like sanctions relief. Libya surrendered its weapons of mass destruction program in 2003, but its then leader Muammar Gaddafi was toppled from power and killed by NATO-backed rebel forces in 2011. Not exactly a model North Korean chairman Kim Jong-un would be inspired by. And indeed, Pyongyang has bristled at the suggestion, even threatening to cancel the first Trump-Kim summit last year after Bolton's suggestion. The North called Bolton defective and a war maniac. And Trump's comments after accepting Bolton's resignation were pretty scathing. He said it was a setback when Bolton proposed the Libya model for North Korea. "You just take a look at what happened with Gaddafi," Trump told reporters. And as soon as he mentioned that, the Libyan model, what a disaster. Interestingly, Bolton's departure coincided with North Korea's recent offer to resume denuclearization negotiations. So it would seem like there may be a connection. But then, as with most of these issues, it's more complex than that. Trump must have known something like this could happen. Bolton has been criticized by the North since as long ago as the early 2000s, when he worked under President George W. Bush. Bolton's position last year didn't prevent the greatest US-North Korea diplomatic engagement in history either. Trump is also no stranger to bold rhetoric, having threatened the North with fire and fury months before Bolton was appointed. So Bolton's exit might be an excuse for a turning point, as perhaps Trump just finally lost patience after months of stalled talks, not to mention other foreign policy challenges and next year's election approaching. And then there's the question of who will replace Bolton.
Well, we know the answer to that because Trump on Wednesday named the envoy for hostage negotiations, Robert O'Brien, as Bolton's successor. O'Brien has served as a foreign policy advisor to several Republican presidential campaigns, according to news reports, and the New York Times said Trump was impressed by the envoy's work to secure the release of Americans detained in countries like North Korea and Turkey. Ultimately, though, the prospects for denuclearization dialogue may rest with Trump himself, especially given the top-down process so far, and how he answers the fundamental question over how far or whether the US is willing to compromise to achieve the North's denuclearization.